Remember back when we were teenagers, you know, we'd all sneak off with our buddies at 14 and go get plastered in some field somewhere and wake up the next morning in an old backer barn smelling like a liquor store? Why is it that when we turned 21, that shit wasn't cool anymore? You mean it's legal for me to do this shit now? That's unattractive. I think what it was is when I turned 21, it became too easy to purchase alcohol. I missed the struggle. I missed the fight. You know what I'm talking about. When you're 16 trying to get alcohol, man, you gotta go through a whole plethora of things. First, you gotta steal a car. Then you had to kidnap a person of age, which you couldn't lure them in with candy and stuff like that. You know, you had to bribe them with grams and baccarat. Then you and your buddies would all get together and you'd all chip in a little bit. Maybe one of the kids had a part-time job. Maybe one of the kids had a lot of mom and say it was pizza money. Some of them just stole the money, you know, along with the car keys. That kind of ties in with the first step. After you got the product, you would drive your supplier home and you drop him off, give him a hug, you know, maybe even a kiss on the lips, just so he knows how much it meant to you. Now, if I want a drink, I just walk up in that bitch and that is not cool. That's why I really hope they don't make marijuana legal, because I feel like I'm going to go to rehab that same day. Honestly, I think I'm just mad because I'm getting older now, you know. I can't drink like how I used to. I wake up the next morning, I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm in ICU. What happened to waking up like a spring chicken, man? What the... Life sucks. The other night, I'm laying in bed, my old lady, I'm asleep, you know. Sleep as fuck, and then I wake up. Ah! You know, that might have been a little over-exaggerated, but I woke up, you know, and I woke up and I was like, I want to cuddle my baby. So I turn over to go reach for her, and she's got this damn body pillow between us like a damn Walmart checkout divider. That shit ain't gonna work. So I was like, I'm just gonna slide it out the way real easy, and I'm gonna scoot on up in there, you know what I mean? She woke up immediately, not because I touched the body pillow, but because she just knew that I was about to touch the body pillow. She's like, what do you think you're doing? I'm like, attitude? I didn't deserve that. I just want some cuddles. So I snap. I grab the body pillow. I throw up against the wall. The hardest shit just black, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, that bitch sounded kind of heavy, man. What the hell kind of body pillow is that? She's like, oh my God, what are you doing to Tyler? I was like, who the fuck is Tyler? She was like, it's my boyfriend. I've been cheating on you. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, don't hurt him. He's fragile. He's a vegetable. I'm like, what? She's like, I'm trying to go on a diet. What? I'm joking, y'all. That was all a lie. Tyler was not a vegetable. He climbed out of that pillowcase. He whooped my ass. Then they both got naked and made love on top of my defeated corpse like some fucking episode of Game of Thrones or some shit. Like, what is going on? Yeah, man, I probably should go to therapy. Man, you think you got problems, you don't know the half. If you ever call my phone, I'll decline it just to pick it right back up to text you, tell you that I'm somewhere I'm not doing something I'm not doing, and I'll get back to you in 5 to 6 business days. Did I mention I'm only open once a week? You ride in a car with somebody and you hear a song you like, you know, normal people might ask for the name of the song. Not me. I'll listen to the lyrics and Google that shit later. I'll disassociate faster than a That's So Ravens flashback. I go to a restaurant and they give my order wrong and it's edible. I just don't really care to talk to people. Don't really care to associate, you know. It's probably because I talk to myself and that guy don't ever know when to shut the fuck up. I'm about as expressive as those people that do English voiceovers for Japanese movies, you know. They'll be like, you knock on my door, I'll be crouching behind the couch like a Vietnamese, man. You come here, I will fuck you up. Hell, I get shy around my own family sometimes. Like, you could be my brother, and if I ain't seen you in 4 or 5 months, I'm gonna be a little nervous at first. You might be an agent from the Matrix, I don't know. I be forgetting all the little cousins' names and shit. You know, the other day my mom was like you going down there to the river? You know, your cousin Billy's getting baptized. I didn't even know I had a cousin Billy. She was like, hell, you remember him? You was there when he was born. And tell Mama, like, Mama, I used to be a severe alcoholic. I was there physically, maybe. I'm like, you sure you ain't talking about Joby? She's like, you ain't even got a cousin Joby. It's like, oh my God. Just out here just making people up and shit. Sometimes I'll stare in the mirror for like hours and just like, whoa, I'm really in here. My buddies be talking to me. I don't be paying attention to anything they're saying. Then they ask me for what my opinion is, and I got to come up with some bullshit like, you know, it is what it is, ain't what it ain't, you know. The older I get, the more I relate to Squidward. For my birthday, I got a $15 gift card to Red Lobster. I just want to say I appreciate you paying the admission fee. That wasn't a damn gift card. That was a ticket, man. That granted me, that granted access to the parking lot. That's what that did. Hell, I was ashamed to pull that shit out, man. I felt like a homeless man that just stumbled into Food Line with a pocket full of coupons. I mean, I ain't spent that type of money on fish since I was, you know, that time in college with that hooker, but that's a completely different story. From now on, if I want Red Lobster, I'll be going to the Royal Buffet on Fishy Fridays. It's got affordable prices and it comes with a free colon cleanse. If I wanted to spend all my money eating subpar food with minimal entertainment, I would have went to the strip club on amateur night. Everyone talks about their biscuits. Oh, their biscuits, special ingredients. There ain't nothing special about them biscuits. And my daddy makes those biscuits all the time. Only ingredients he needs is a case of beer and a desire to cheat his diet. I'm just saying all this because I miss the prime Captain D's. Y'all remember how good Captain D's used to be, man? Now the food tastes like it comes from the damn Georgia aquarium, man. The fish tastes domesticated. There's no struggle in the texture. The fish died willingly. I gotta admit, every time I get writer's block, I think to myself, I'm out of ideas. I can't think of no more material. And then I pull some shit like this out of my ass, and I gotta give myself credit, man. I'm good at what I do. Kids these days don't understand how easy they got it with these new phones. Nowadays, you drop your phone, you get worried. Oh my God, did I crack the screen? Let me tell you something. Back in my day, you drop your phone, the damn battery would pop out that bitch like a damn ejector seat in a fighter jet. Just pew, gone. Just sometimes they'd even come with little parachutes attached. You don't know what it's like to be an addict until you're in your house flipping all your furniture looking for your fix. And by fix, I'm talking about that little square battery that's hiding from you like the bush monkeys after tax season. My buddy had a phone like that, you know what I mean? He just sat around on all day watching adult movies. He had all kinds of viruses on his phone, man. He dropped his phone, the SIM card popped out and went into witness protection. If there's one thing I do miss about them old flip phones, it's the fact that they were indestructible, man. You could throw them things and not break them. My dad had one of them flip phones, man. Let me tell you, he had that phone so long that it was able to draw retirement. He used to sit there and test the durability of it, you know, just for shits and giggles. He'd run it over, spike it on the asphalt like a football. He threw it out in the pond one time and it swam back. If you think about it though, it's just like everything else. They made it a whole lot better back in the day. I will say though, it definitely came with its pros and cons. Y'all remember trying to surf the internet on a flip phone? Do y'all remember that shit? Or what it felt like to get hit in the back of the head by one of them going 90 miles an hour? Especially when it was thrown by a mentally unstable, daddy-issued Carrie Underwood listening Tequila on a Tuesday night type of woman? My buddy knows all about that too well. He had a toxic relationship back in 2005, and now every time he sees a Nakia, he gets a boner and a migraine at the same time. He don't know whether to reach for a condom or an aspirin. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. Girls are confusing. So the other day, my old lady had one of her girlfriends over. You know, they was in the back room back there trying on dresses. I'm in there eating chips on the couch watching TV, you know, and I overhear her ask her friend if the dress makes her ass look fat. Not only did her friend tell her that her ass looked fat in the dress, but she called her, and I quote, a bad bitch. Gasp. Do you know what you just did? She's never gonna wear that dress again. Y'all probably ain't gonna be friends anymore. I gotta go get a gym membership now. I'm prepared for the worst. I'm physically and mentally just preparing myself. And then I heard it from down the hallway, my old lady. Oh my God, thank you. Finally, something to show off my curves. Excuse me? If I would have called her that shit, I would have been sleeping on the couch for a week. I was so confused. I didn't know what to, I just let it go. I let it go. I didn't know what to do with it. Fast forward to earlier this week, my girl's trying on dresses again because, you know, that's what girls like to do, put on shit that they'll never wear out in public. Only thing is, this time her girlfriend ain't here, so I'm the one gotta be giving the ratings and the opinions and all that. She asked me if the dress makes her ass look fat. At first, I knew better. My gut instinct kicked in. I was like, nope, don't do it, Bryce. Don't look into the light. But now I'm all confused because a girlfriend done went and put all this questionable language up in my head. I panicked. I was like, you're a badass fat bitch, fat back ass bit, yes. Anyways, I've been living in the trunk of her car for the past 3 or 4 days, surviving on the diet consisting of my hair and piss. It's a good thing I got a head full of hair, else I was gonna have to start eating my pubes. She eventually let me out though, you know, someone had to air at the tire. Although that still don't answer the question why I fell out the car was getting hydraulics the other night at 3 a.m. Sound like a raccoon was back there getting jumped by 2 Arabian anteaters or some shit. It was real romantic though, whoever it was. They lit up a cigarette after, you know, and I felt like this must be what it's like to be a sex scene in a Hallmark movie, you know? Yep, but I should probably have a talk to her about that. I don't care too much for that big city lifestyle, you know? Too much noise up there, you know what I mean? Me personally, I prefer the trailer park lifestyle over that. The only thing you gotta worry about out there, you know, is shit like, you know, your alcoholic neighbor revving up a shit box at 4 a.m. Kids out cutting donuts on their four-wheelers and dirt bikes. One of the houses has an above-ground pool in the front yard, you know, that the family got in once, and now there's an oak tree growing through the damn thing. The occasional argument between Billy Bob and Darla over who huffed the last duster can, you know, and that's about it. My brother lives in one of those big cities like that, you know, real fancy, buys weed with a credit card and shit. Every time he comes home, he's like, what the fuck is that smell? And I'm like, fresh air. We seen a shooting star the other night. He thought it was a ballistic missile. I'm trying to make a wish, and he's over there spamming the D-pad trying to set up a counter UAV. That's another reason why I don't like the big city. All the lights, they block out the stars, man. I like for it to be dark when it's dark. You know what I'm saying? Makes it a hell of a lot easier to hide in your bushes. They don't even have bushes in big cities unless it's like, you know, No Shave November or some shit like that. One of the cons, obviously, you know, nothing around here is within walking distance. You know, I gotta drive 25 miles just to get to Walmart. Not a game out here, you know what I mean? If you want to play games, go to Google and see what's more abundant in your area. Sexual predators or Dollar General? Do green for the general, red for offenders, and watch that shit blow up like a Christmas tree. You're gonna be so confused you ain't gonna know whether to panic or start putting presents under it. I'm a firm believer that we're already in hell, and either you die a good person and go to heaven, or you have to get reincarnated and pay your taxes all over again. That's why the kids keep getting worse and worse nowadays. It ain't the parents' fault. Hell, that's Lil Adolf. No, I'm joking though. It is some of y'all parents. So some of y'all ain't worth a shit. You gonna get cussed out by your kid, and then you gonna convince me that he don't understand. Like he ain't just form a complete sentence. Baby over here talking about F you this, F you that, you. What don't he understand? The rest of his vowels? If my kid cusses me out, I'm gonna have to get reincarnated and pay my taxes all over again. I love my son with all my heart, but he gets on my everlasting nerve, just like my old lady. And everyone keeps wondering on my hair thinning. By this rate, I'll be bald by 30, and with ears like mine, I'll be looking like a cigarette butt with wings. Being a parent is not for the weak. No, literally, the other night I went to go grab that little shit out the tub and I pulled my kidney. It's funny when some people get upset with me for referring to my son as a little shit, but then again, some of y'all be calling your son daddy, and I'll be honest, that's just a little weird. You got about one time to text me talking about daddy needs diapers. Bitch, I'm daddy. I'm 27, I shit just fine. Kids, man, gotta love them. Sometimes. I seriously wish my old lady would cuddle me the way she does her vape. She goes too long without it. She starts doing that Tom Hanks from Saving Private Ryan, you know? I can't tell if the girl's having a seizure or trying to throw up gang signs. Feel like I done lost my lady to a USB drive. I kinda wish she'd smoke cigarettes instead. Hell, at least then she'd have to go outside and I get 10 minutes of peace and quiet every other hour. She can't go anywhere without that thing, man. I've never seen anything like it. I'm starting to think they're laced. They're expensive and cheaply made. That tells me all I need to know about it right there. This younger generation of kids, they got it easy with these vapes nowadays. They don't know what it was like back in my spring chicken years. These days, you want a vape, you walk into, gas station or whatever and just, buy your disposable. Hell, back in my day, if you wanted a vape, you had to go down, buy a damn fucking toolbox with that son of a bitch, man. You walk out the smoke shop looking like a mechanic. I've been seeing a lot in the news recently. They've been talking about fake carts, Oh, they got fake carts now, you gotta watch out for them. I bought a fake cart from Dollar Tree one time and I could hear my esophagus for 2 damn weeks, man. It sounded like I had boogers in there playing wall ball. Back in school, we used to have, these competitions to see who could blow the biggest smoke cloud, and then you blow it on the table and try to funnel it, and try to make it do a tornado. Y'all remember that shit? You can't blow clouds like that with these new vapes. You take one big hit, man, you boy go to start doing this shit right here, boy, what the f? At this point, I'm just convinced that everything is illegal nowadays. You can't do nothing in peace. Hell, I can't even go fishing in peace nowadays. I tried to go fishing earlier. The game warden pulled up on me. He comes up to me, know how you doing today? None of that. First thing comes out of his mouth, you got a fishing license? I said, no, sir. Be honest with you, I didn't even know you could drive a fish. He gonna say, sir, you know this is a waste management pond, right? And I said, no, sir, that can't be true. He said, how do you know? I said, because I ain't caught shit all day. Ooh, yeah, he was not in a good mood. Yeah, he ain't think that shit was as funny as I did. I could tell this guy wasn't in a good mood, though. He was giving off that vibe. You know that same vibe your buddy Kyle gives off when he blows out the speakers in his 2002 Honda Civic? But regardless, he's being an asshole, so I knew I was about to fuck with him. He said, son, you been out here smoking any of that devil's lettuce? I said, sir, I'm anti-vegan. I believe the cruel and inhumane punishment of vegetation is just terrible. Now, in retrospect, I probably could have had a better comeback, but I was high. My old lady tells me all the time I need to work on my comebacks in case, if I'm ever up on stage and someone tries to heckle me. And so I've been working on it, and definitely not the best scenario to practice. It was like, the only reason why I ask you that is because I smell it. I said, sir, I get nervous around cops. I might have pooted a little, I don't know. Personally, I think the smell is his bottom lip. I kept trying to tell him that. He didn't want to listen to me. He said, sir, are you under the influence right now? I said, sir, I've been known to be a very influential man. Check me out on TikTok. Have you guys ever talked yourself out of a ticket and into jail? And that was the day that I realized the cold hard truth, and that's that comedy doesn't fix everything. Turns out it's actually exposure. I had to show him my boobies, and, he let me off with a warning. Let me tell y'all this story about me and this girl one time, back in the day when I used to think with the head between my legs and not the one on my shoulders. I'll be honest, I knew this girl got around like a disco ball, but shit, I liked the boogie. Her neighborhood reminded me of a racetrack. If you live there, you gotta turn. She could sell her ass if she wanted to, but she don't want to go up a tax bracket. As soon as I started talking to her, here come all 2 of my buddies talking about, man, she been around, man, she done been around town. Well, no shit, Bubba, the population's 17 and 4 of them are support dogs that live down the street with the elderly woman with Tourette's. It's a small town dating pool. What you want me to do? I could expand my range, but then again, I am banned on Christian Mingle. Hell, I even tried Farmers Only one time. That app's a little too realistic, man. Last time I was on Farmers Only, I dated a hoe for 6 months. Anyways, me and her got busy like a window unit in August, man, and About 3 days later, you call me Luke Skywalker because I started feeling disturbance in the Force. The next morning, I wake up in cold sweats. I look down. My dink looks like Jabba the Hutt. I did what any rational man would do. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get on WebMD. It takes about 3 minutes for these people to convince me that my ass end's about to fall off like a rusty bumper. Mom's rushing me to the hospital. I'm sitting over there, I'm freaking out. I got a bungee cord right around my waist. I'm trying to keep my asshole aligned. I finally get to the hospital. They take me to the back, run some tests. You know, finally old nurse walks in there. You know, old lady, I thought she wanted over from the nursing home or something first. Before I can even ask her a question, my mom takes over the whole situation. You know how moms are. Oh my God, is he gonna be okay? I'm 23 at this point, by the way, just to throw that out there. Old lady looks my mom dead in the eyes without even any hesitation. She's like,
oh, he's all right, sweetie. He just got gonorrhea. We're going to give him some of these pills right here, and he'll be just fine.
Thanks, Morgan Freeman. Try explaining to your mom how you got gonorrhea when up to this point, she thought that you were a virgin who was saving yourself for marriage. Look, I'm telling you, I was at the gas station. I ran to one of my homeboys, shook his hand. Earlier that morning, he put his thumb in his old lady's butt. I didn't know. He didn't wash his hands. My mom bought me condoms for 6 months after that. Do you understand how embarrassing that is? I'm allergic to latex too, so it was them lamb skin, it felt like I was having sex inside of a stomach casing, man. What kind of Jeffrey Dahmer ass shit was that? To all my youngins out there, make sure y'all wear protection. Don't end up like me. See, I told y'all my videos can have a positive message. If there's a message I like to give to all the young whippersnappers out there, it's look at me acting like I'm old and shit. If there's a message I like to give, it's that your parents always know what you're doing, even if you don't think they do. For instance, back when I first got my license and I didn't have my own vehicle yet, I used to have to steal my dad's truck all the time. Now, I didn't technically steal the truck. It's just my dad was one of those types of people, you couldn't take the truck unless you had a legitimate reason, So I would just lie. I gotta run to the store. I gotta go to McDonald's, get me something to eat real quick. I gotta make a deposit at the bank or some shit. Now, was I going to these places for real? No, I was going to buy weed. It used to always blow up in my face though, because I'd tell him I'm going to the store or something, and then he'd hand me $5 and ask me to get him something. Like, fuck. I had no desire to go to the store. I was trying to get my shit and get home, and that's what I would do. I would go, and I'd get back, after doing my thing, and I'd make up some bullshit. Like, man, the store was closed. They got some new holiday they got going on this year. And my dad was real gullible, so he'd believe me, and I did that shit for months. And then one day my dad just looks at me and he's like, son, I don't care that you take my truck to buy weed and all, but I don't know. You think you might have the common courtesy to stop at a fucking Dollar Tree and get me a damn Milky Way every now and again? Huh, shit. See, the lesson is that parents know you be lying, and they know you be on the bullshit. They let you get away with it because they're letting you be kids. I told him the truth though. I was like, Dad, I can't get you that Milky Way. He said, son, I just gave you $5 earlier. I said, yes, sir. And that $5 upgraded that 2 grams and 2 1/8. I appreciate it. So to all my youngins out there, if you're ever going to use your dad's truck to buy pot, at least get him a Milky Way. In the South, if you hear gunshots, it just means someone's somewhere having a better time than you. In the South, drinking and driving does not apply to dirt roads. And if you ever hit the ditch and get stuck, I got a buddy that'll come pull you out for a pack of Marlboro Reds and a 6-pack of Natty Daddies. In the South, it's best not to ask somebody about their car unless you want to hear about all the work they've done to it over the past 25 years. In the South, if you see a cop, it's common courtesy to flash every driver you see after that to let them know that there's danger ahead. In the South, we wave at everyone, even if we don't know who the hell you are. Have you ever been woken out of your sleep at 2 a.m. to the sound of Tannerite blast? You might be from the South. You ever seen a lawnmower going down the highway going 75 miles an hour? Do you drink your sweet tea out of mason jars? And I'm talking about the real sweet tea, not none of that northern shit. I've had y'all's tea before, okay? That shit tastes like a fucking aneurysm. You ever seen a fight break out at a cornhole tournament? Do you or somebody you know have a finger missing because they held a firecracker too long? You might be from the South. You see a Subaru with an AC unit strapped in the back windshield, you're in the right place. If you see a John Deere tractor in the Wendy's drive-thru, you're probably in the right place. If husband and wife start looking more like brother and sister, you done got lost. That ain't the South I'm talking about. You in the wrong place. Y'all the reason why I can't ever do nothing right. The other day I bought my old lady a cordless vacuum cleaner. She was excited about that shit too, man. She was over the moon. Oh my God, vacuum cleaner. Oh, suction. Everything was good, but then I had to make a Facebook status about it. I had to do it. Someone commented with their cleaning expertise and was all like, hey, you should have got a cord vacuum cleaner. Those cordless ones don't last long. And I was like, whatever, I pushed that shit to the side. Later that night, we laying in bed. My old lady gonna turn over, she gonna say, do you think we should have got a cord vacuum cleaner? Do you see what you done caused, huh? You see what you done did to me, bitch? Come to think about it, maybe I should have got a cord vacuum cleaner so I could take that son of a bitch and... Somebody commented, you should have got a Dyson. Yeah, you know what rhymes with Dyson? Ricin. Yeah, that same shit I hope Walter White slipped into your coffee just so I can call you tomorrow and be like, hey, are you feeling a little under the weather? Flu-like symptoms? That would be the ricin. I shut up your ass. I can never do nothing right, and nothing is ever good enough. Thank you guys for your expertise. Now everything in this house is getting sucked except for me. You were supposed to be my fucking friend. I'm sorry. I can't take myself literally right now. Now I can't even use that ladder ever again because, you know, ladders, they forget, but they don't forget. Why is he looking at me like that now? Here's some southern slang. First off, we don't say something's over there. We say it's over yonder, okay? And if it's far enough, we say it's over yonder way. In other places of the world, y'all just means you all. But here in the South, y'all is a universal term that you can use for anything. I mean, hell, y'all is our favorite word right behind all the cuss words. See y'all later. What y'all been up to? What y'all doing later? Even if it's just one person, it's still y'all. Bless your heart, it's just a nice, you know, Christian Southern way of saying you're a dumbass. We don't get ready to do it, we fixing to do it. If we want something bad enough, we start developing what you like to call a hankering. If we don't know what something is, we call it a thingy-majigger or a whatchamacallit. If you was ever told you could probably eat corn through a picket fence, you probably got soap bars for teeth. I wouldn't worry too much about it though. Hell, like 20% of the population down here don't even have teeth. We don't always say thank you. Sometimes we say appreciate it. Full send is a popular term often used prior to major automotive repair. And an over-exaggeration is that thing that your buddy does when he talks about that deer he missed. I hate it when I get around someone who doesn't understand Southern slang. I got a buddy like that. I told him the other day, I said, hey man, let's go rip some lips, you know what I mean? I sat out on that pond for 2.5 hours waiting on him. That man was sitting up at the gynecologist. It's now time for the redneck word of the day. Today's redneck word of the day is Arkansas. My great granddaddy was on Noah's Arkansas 2 bucks, and he said if it was up to him, deer would have been extinct a long time ago. I'm about to blow your mind, right? You know there's 24 hours in a day, right? And technically speaking, they say on average you're supposed to sleep 8 hours a day, which I haven't did that in about 10 years, but generally speaking for this video, right? But if you think about it, if you're sleeping 8 hours a day, you're technically sleeping a third of your life away. If you live to be 90, that means you slept 30 years of your life. If you live to be 60, you slept 30. Wait, no, that's not right. And this is exactly why I never showed my work in algebra class. Anyways, I'm 27, which means technically speaking, I've slept 9 years of my life away. Now, what does this all mean? Where does this all tie in together? What's the point you're trying to get here? I'll tell you what the point is. Meth heads live longer than anybody. I mean, sure, he might have only made it to 40, but I gotta live to 120 to see that kind of action. Before anybody hops on here judging me, calling me names, and all this other shit, I just want to make it perfectly clear that all this has been scientifically proven. They ran a whole bunch of tests down there at Florida State. Penitentiary. I would tell y'all to fact check me, but they burned all the documents along with that guy that ate those bath salts that one time and turned to a zombie. I'm not really sure what the correlation is. I mean, other than, you know, that's just some Florida shit. I don't know if they were all just at the burner and there was 2 guys there and one was like, hey, throw my shit in there first. And the other guy was like, no, throw my shit in there first. And like a third guy came in the room and was like, hey, we can make room. I'm not sure what happened there. I feel like I'm going off page now. But my point is, you can take my word for it. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm a nice guy. I sit crisscross applesauce and shit at public functions.